My flaw, such as it was, and certainly not my only one, but the most challenging for a politician was that I couldn't recognize faces. Not for the life of me. If my own mother had walked by wearing a different sweater than the one I'd seen earlier, I would have passed right by. What possessed me to work with people when I couldn't distinguish between them will have to remain somewhat a mystery. I regret the casual brutality of organizations, of human relations, both in the chambers and elsewhere. Not anything I did, though there are regrets there too, but rather the relentless grinding down of dignity, self worth, pride, and more that I saw happen to nearly all who work, particularly in organizations. That's a real regret because of the lost potential for happiness and goodwill. I believed in words perhaps as much as deeds, that they could soar, lift, inspire, unite, galvanize, spirit, carry, energize, focus, elevate, remind, and respect. I believed in a just society, a better world, more hopeful futures, putting the past behind us, remembering our common love and mutual need for each other. I played a good word game. I knew it and I loved it. I made friends. I was seen as easygoing. It probably helped that I rarely knew who I was talking to. My special condition had taught me from childhood that it was best to smile first, then try to place the individual in my mind from context or what they said. As it was, I was never grudging, and I'm sure that made me welcome company. They said I made everyone feel as though they were being met for the very first time. They never knew how true. Nothing really matters in the grand schemes of time and place. Getting caught up in the here and now may be fun sport, but nothing we do is anything but a flicker of light, an instant that will be forgotten. We'll all be gone, as will the planet, the solar system, all of it. So why get bent out of shape? Make things a bit better for people, sure, but don't exaggerate how much we matter as a species. Boom, bada bang, badoom badoom ba bang, rat-a-tat bang, a ranga ranga bang. I loved the rhythm of it, like playing a great drum of meaning, something that connected with people's heartbeats and hopes. Like our mother's hearts in the womb, the words could protect, give life, nurture, and inspire. I could feel them resonate in a crowd, lifting us all into a frenzy of hope. I hoped for a better world, for people to be equal, for nature and the planet to be loved and respected, for people to be fulfilled and happy, for justice to be fair, for differences to be resolved peacefully, for freedom from pain, for good parenting, for every person to become what they dreamed of, for a better world, for a fairer world, for a loving world. I'm now forgotten, as it should be, as I forgot or never knew the many that came and went. I'm of no consequence, and never was. never wanted to be. If I helped, if I was of service, then fine, that's all I sought. And now I'm content to let the world drift past as I grow colder, older, and fade away. It was on a minor point of law that I was able to act. I had the coalitions, the numbers, the votes, the popular will, and I swung hard for the fences and won. It was glorious. My strength was my weakness, or at least the mirror of it. Because I couldn't tell people apart, I never really hated. I never felt bad around people or wished them ill. It's not that nothing mattered, it's just that nothing really affected me in the way it seemed to affect others. I just kind of floated through life with a preemptive, friendly smile. We were due to be trounced. Overdue, in fact. Nobody's luck lasts forever, and we had cheated defeat for longer than anyone dreamed. When it came, it was fast, decisive, and final. Fortunately, my only obligation remaining is to pass away, decompose, and decay, nourishing some plants, bugs, and birds. Matter neither created nor destroyed, nothing improved, nothing ruined, all in flux all the time. Someone knew's chance. I had mine. Ha! Legacy? I doubt it. I gave a tip, shared a smile, helped a bit, did little harm, made an effort, I don't know. I was here, and now I go. I hadn't sought power, but felt pressed into it somehow. Maybe it was thrust upon me, but more likely, everyone else just took a step back. A first ballot win was awkward, as they often are. But then, I had fewer fences to mend, and fewer still, favors to repay. I was born and raised to please, even bred to please. The unattainable thing was approval, of being able to right the chaos growing up. It left a scar, an insatiable need for approval, which in turn led to a total fear of being rated and found wanting. It was the smaller things I loved: helping someone access their old age pension, helping to get a bus stop moved close to a senior's home, speaking to a group of students. Those were the joys of the work, the helping parts that left people better off or inspired or happier. I was lucky to step into my time. That is, to be there and to be ready when the time was right for me. Far too often, it's wrong person, wrong time, or right person, wrong time, and so forth. Very few times in life do the stars align themselves at the precise moment. My ideal was that one helped, that one contributed to positive outcomes, that one sought not to enrich oneself with anything other than the feeling of a job well done, of having made a difference. I did a lot of walking back in nature, seeing no one and saying nothing. The longer I stayed away, the better I felt. It was subtle, but it was steady, like a drip from a broken fountain. I could sense my ideals trickling away as winning became a game. I was starting to lose myself in the process. I thought it must be possible to do good without conflict, without enmity and bitterness. It must have been some sort of delusion to think we could try things differently. Fool me twice, shame on me. They appealed to my earliest ideals, and I fell in line. It was my ultimate mistake. I should have stayed away, back here, where at least I was at peace. To run or not, it was simple. I could do my best, give it a try, or walk away, knowing I could have helped, could have made a difference, but chose not to. To come in, to make a difference, to help others, to leave the world better, to develop new leaders, to not overstay, but when the time was right, to just walk away. It was each hand not accepted, each face not known, each group not visited, each rush too hurried to listen, to hear, to feel. Thinking it could be better the next time around. That was the jape that let it all go wrong. It was foolish to think you could achieve anything new with all the old habits and history and tools. As the polls crept up, our numbers were frail at best, dismal more like. A debate or two gave a lift, but not enough to move the needle. The last week or so, the undecideds came down, on our side it seems, right into election night. I had no words prepared. It was a bit of a fright. The biggest win is not what you think. It's just fading away, knowing as I do that I left the place as good as I found it. Maybe a bit improved, but mostly, I'm sure I left it no worse. I fell into depression and couldn't go back. They kept asking, entreating, working my buttons. I must have got mad, so maybe it worked. But sometimes I wonder if laying down would have been best. A rational, secular, but tolerant world, a realization of the finiteness of life and earth and the universe, a sense of compassion, of goodness and truth, and rational discourse that brings greater good